Hello and welcome to the third Watch, Play, Listen vlog. Thanks again to anyone who's watched any other ones. A couple of people actually have, so that's quite nice. So thanks for that. This one's going to be slightly different in that the first one I talked about Breaking Bad, second one Walking Dead. I haven't really got a singular focus on this one in terms of a TV show, but I said at the end of the last one I'd try and talk about films and music, that sort of thing a bit more. So this one is essentially everything I hate about going to the cinema. So it's basically, you know, in Family Guy, Peter Griffin does his grind my gears type job. This is basically that, because a lot of things do really annoy me about going to the cinema. So yeah, let's get started. So I'll first of all say that I've got a Cineworld Unlimited card. So I go to cinema quite a lot. I mean, I've been 60 odd times this year so far. So I do go quite a lot. So that means I do see a lot of problems, basically. So people always say the problems with cinema is people talking and really expensive snacks and things. So they're pretty kind of obvious things, but I'll sort of talk about specific things as well that I find annoying. So yeah, in terms of snacks, with an unlimited card I get 25% off snacks. So I sound like I'm trying to sell them now, but I'm not. That does make a difference though. I do completely see why cinemas charge loads for snacks, because they're in a sort of not dying industry, but obviously downloading films and also just like Sky TV, that sort of thing, means that they've got to make their money somehow at the cinema. They've got to kind of, yeah, they've got to make money. They're not making money on films really, so yeah, they have to do that. But what really annoys me though is that they have a separate counter. This is in lots of Cineworlds I've been to, for ice cream. So you can't get a drink at the ice cream counter without going over there, then the staff having to go to the other till and that sort of thing. And then you can't order ice cream at the other tills, so it's just a bit stupid really. That's very minor and probably really niche to me, but I do like the ice cream though. Go for a bit of a Monster and strawberry cheesecake. It's my winning combo. But yeah, the staff are all really nice from what I've seen. I have no complaints about them. They've been all fine, apart from one that broke my unlimited card, but that was not their fault probably. So yeah, moving on next into the cinema, and the next problem is the seats at the front. Just why? When I was little I used to always want to sit right at the front, and my mum was like, no, move back, you're being an idiot, which is completely fair enough, because I was an idiot. Who would want to sit on the mug seats right at the front of the cinema? I mean, I watched Les Mis there, because I took my parents to that. They don't go to cinema much. And they wanted to go for a meal beforehand. So we turned up, like, just before it was meant to start. It'd been out quite a while, but we ended up in I think it was either the first or the actual second row. And that's a film where there's a lot of massive close-ups. You're just literally Anne Hathaway's face just completely filling the screen, or Russell Crowe or someone, hopefully Russell Crowe. And we were literally right at the side, and you just couldn't see a thing. Like, just completely ruined the film. Why would anyone want to sit in those seats? We when I went to see Star Trek Into Darkness for the second time, I think it was, we went in, we'd booked, and we went in, and they were the only seats left. So we went out again and said, like, is it alright to change our booking? I know it's sold out, but they've only got those seats at the front. So the guy behind the counter talked to his manager, and he's like, well, they're not going to want to sit there, are they? Because everyone knows they're just stupid. Who would sit there? So anyway, I could talk about mug seats for quite a while, probably. But yeah, moving on then, and into the adverts, like half an hour of adverts. The most annoying one at the moment is that Fanta advert that I could probably talk about for another kind of 10-minute just vlog on its own. You know, the one that's just with really terrible animation, and people want to trade their like skateboard and robot dog and car for a bottle of Fanta when there's a Fanta machine right next to them. Whose idea was that advert that thought that was a brilliant advert? That was the best they came up with. That it's just the worst advert. And another thing they've started doing now amongst the trailers is these kind of preview bits where you get to see a sneak like 6 minutes of some film that's coming out soon. And I think it was during Star Trek and maybe Man of Steel or something, they showed 6 minutes of Fast and the Furious 6. Now, that's more than I've seen of all the other Fast and Furious put together. And now I've seen 18 minutes of that film, a car chase with tanks on a bridge that I never wanted to see. I never wanted to see that. I didn't need to see The Rock introduce that. It's just, it looks like a terrible film. I know people like that sort of thing. IGN always rave about them, but I did not need to see that film. If I want to see a film, I'd go and see it. But that doesn't include things like Pixar when they put a nice short film before it. They're brilliant. But yeah, that sort of thing's really annoying anyway. And trailers in general, they just give away far too much these days. Like, you can see a comedy trailer, all the funny bits are in the trailer. I mean, I get why they put good bits in the trailer to make people see it, but it just ruins the film when you actually do go and see it. Also, it works with other films giving away plot twists and like the storyline. But yeah, that's another gripe with trailers. And another thing they've started doing in some cinemas is after the trailers and before like the BBFC title card comes up, a member of staff, always kind of tail between their legs, gets roped into coming in to introduce the film. I don't know if anyone else has had that. I've had it at a few different cinemas now. Bexley Heath, Rochester, I think Harlow as well, like cinemas, and they just come in and they've got to just introduce the film. I think it first happened with Django Unchained. I thought they were just going to be like, be careful people, there's some racist language or something like that, but they just literally come in and say, hi, this is Django Unchained, the latest film from Quentin Tarantino, who directed Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and it stars Jamie Foxx, that sort of thing. That it's so, they just say the most obvious things and they haven't practiced. Like, we went to see Kick-Ass 2 and they said Aaron Taylor, who's also been in Anna Karenina, they just couldn't pronounce Karenina, they just didn't seem to have ever seen the word before. And they introduced Chloe Moretz as from Movie 42, which I doubt is her proudest moment and kind of film she's best known for. But they just seem a bit stupid. I feel like I could, whatever film I'm going to see, stand up the front and do a better job of it than someone who's sort of paid to do it. But that may be me being a bit cocky, but I don't know. I think anyone could do a better job. Anyway, on to the film then now. So everyone goes in, they choose their seats. It annoys me when people, when it's a film that's really filling up, like it's going to get pretty full, not going to be many spare seats, people just sit and leave like one here and there, or they block an aisle so people can't kind of get to seats. That's really irritating. I mean, if it's going to be really empty, sure, sit where you want, you know. But it does annoy me, and especially if people are coming in as a two, they've got one seat either side of them, they don't move up to let them in as a two. They kind of, so that's pretty annoying as well. Other than that, then also, a few times it's happened is that when they start the film, it's all obviously done digitally now. There's no projectionists left in the country hardly at all. Twice it's happened actually at non-Cineworld, once at Empire, once at Showcase, where they just didn't start the film. It's meant to be on like, you know, automatically set up to start them, but we were just kind of sat there still waiting for anything to start, and nobody kind of goes to say anything because they just assume it's going to work. So you sat there like 10 minutes without knowing what's going on. Then eventually somebody came and said, oh sorry, it's meant to start. But that's pretty annoying that that happens. It wouldn't have happened with projectors, but I guess that's the money saving times we're in. Another thing then is people who go and see a film and they clearly have no knowledge of what it's going to be like or what it's going to be about. This has happened a few times. It happened with Lincoln, that fun-filled Lincoln film, where we had a group of school kids, probably like 14, 15. As soon as I saw them come in, my face just dropped. I was like, these guys are not going to enjoy this film. I don't know if they'd been roped into it for school or something, for their history or something, but they were just so irritating, even more than I thought they'd. But I thought they'd walk out. I was kind of hoping they'd walk out, but they were literally swapping seats all the time, all of them on their phones, just shouting the whole way through and just moving around the cinema, that sort of thing. So that wouldn't happen if they'd have known it was going to be not boring, but heavy-going film, let's say. Also, Zero Dark 30 was about the same time. People going thinking it's going to be some kind of action film. Obviously, it's got some action moments in it, but there's a lot of talking in there. And they walked out because it was obviously not what they expected. Like, these things, if people would read a review or just see a trailer or something to know what it's going to be about, that would just save that happening. Also, in Only God Forgives, just a couple of weeks back, some people were just kind of laughing the whole way through at the film. I sort of didn't blame them because it's a bit of a, well, not rubbish, but a pretentious film. But I don't know, people should research that. I sort of do see it though, people on a whim going to cinema saying, what's on tonight? Oh, that's got Gosling in it, I'll go and see that. But yeah, it must be annoying for them, wasting their money as well as me. But there we are. Another thing then is children. That's a difficult one. Like, I saw Turbo this morning actually. It was obviously full of children, and that's fine. It's a kids' film, like, primarily. But there's some kids in there that they couldn't sit up on their own, let alone watch a screen for 10 minutes, let alone, 96, whatever the film is. Just screaming the whole way through and that sort of thing. And I know there's movies for juniors, special screenings, maybe they should be used more, but I think sometimes parents just take kids to cinema just to keep them entertained. Like, we went to see Brave, I think it was, and it was a dad and two kids who, he obviously just didn't know what to do with them. Like, he was going out to the toilet and this sort of thing, and they were just throwing sweets around, they didn't understand what was going on. Like he was trying to explain it to them, but parents should take that responsibility to know what their children can see. Like, I don't know, that's just another gripe. But phones is obviously a really irritating thing these days. I think screenings should literally just have no signal in them. That would solve a lot of problems, because there's nothing worse than just being engrossed in a film and then like some fog light from the other side of the screen, other side of the audience comes on, someone just checking their text or something. So that's pretty irritating. It doesn't happen too often these days, someone actually on their phone. It did actually the other day though, somebody answered their phone, had a whole conversation, just in the cinema, so that was another annoying thing that happened. Going on to films themselves then, 3D, that's annoying, isn't it? Like, people pay more to either get the glasses or just for the upgrade to watch 3D for these films that have just been retrofitted that don't benefit from being in 3D at all. Avatar obviously kind of started that trend, and that's a film that waited for the technology and actually did something with 3D. I mean, Avatar in 2D looks pretty terrible, especially on like a TV screen. It's really just bright and all that sort of thing. But with the 3D, it does add depth and a kind of a touch that does bring the world to life. I think also like Life of Pi did 3D quite well, and I hear Gravity is going to as well. But they bring out all these films, like especially animations, they don't really benefit from 3D at all. And things like was it Clash of the Titans or Wrath of the Titans, one of those, and all those sort of Percy Jacksons and just all those films, the 3D adds nothing. Even Man of Steel was better in 2D. There's not many films that are better in 3D, to be honest. But yeah, all I'll say then is that I find a lot really annoying with the cinema. But despite that, I'll keep going to cinema because I love going to cinema. I like the shared laughter, the shared kind of jumps and oohs and all that sort of thing. I saw Prisoners recently, and behind us there's this couple, bless them. I say bless them, that's pretty patronising. But the whole way through, the woman was trying to guess what's going to happen. She's like, "Oh, I bet he's the father," or "I bet that's going to happen there," and that's really irritating as well. I don't need a commentary. I don't even watch DVD commentaries because they're pretty boring. But I especially didn't need it when I first saw the film. But yeah, I'll leave you with that. That's my latest vlog in my vlog canon. That's the third one in the Watch Play Listen vlogs. I'll probably be back to talk about something soon. Maybe the Mercury Prize. I've been listening to a lot of them lately, all the nominees. Also got the Thor premiere coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'll probably talk about that. But other than that then, over and out for now, and thanks again for watching. Thank you.